It's all fun and games till someone gets shot.
This is a video that I've tried to record multiple different times, multiple different iterations in trying to properly explain how I feel about the DLC characters of Tekken 7, the base roster of Tekken 8, and what will happen in terms of DLC in Tekken 8, and basically why I think it all is pretty much pointless. Pointless because you have characters replacing each other at will, the stories just get canned, hyped up, and thrown out, and I just start to feel like, what's the point of it? I'll explain it all. Let's go back. In Tekken 7, it was dominated by DLC. After Season 2, every DLC that was thrown in the game was busted. Players tried to argue this character's balanced, this character's good, get good scrub, lab the matchup, but after years of all of us getting our cheeks clapped, everyone finally came to the conclusion that they're all busted. Zafina, Ganryu, Fahkumram, Leroy, Lydia, Kunimitsu, all of them. Tekken 7 was ruined by them. But also, if you look at it from a different perspective, those characters were introduced and some of them had a very bright future. Zafina having Azazel in her hand, that basically made her a necessity in Tekken 8. Leroy Smith being a beloved character, but also having strong roots in New York City, a strong rivalry with the Mishima Zaibatsu, then featuring the Tekken bloodline, he has to return. I even thought Fahkumram possibly had a chance because of his stories and what's going on with him. Prisoner, mysterious person controlling his fate, his destiny. There seems like there's something there. But then when you talk about Kunimitsu and Lydia, those are the two characters that I really want to focus on in this portion of the video. We'll start with Kunimitsu first. Everyone, including myself, begged for this character to return. I wanted the mother Kunimitsu. I was very heartbroken, angered when they gave us the daughter. You had this big discussion of, once again, they replaced a mature female character with this underage, cutesy, careless, carefree, like we've seen it 1,000 times. Kunimitsu has the same personality as so many of the other female characters, and it was bad. Whether you want to talk about the fighting style is good or not good, to each his own. Some people like the original, some people like the new. But what that character represented in terms of story can never be replicated with the daughter, in my opinion. The mother had such a strong bond with Yoshimitsu, and seeing how that transformed over all these years would have been truly special. It would have been the same thing as Jun Kazama, but to a lesser extent. Both of those characters pretty much disappeared canonically at the same time. Seeing them be reintroduced and facing their evils, it would have been something cool. But they didn't do that. They brought in Kunimitsu, and she doesn't care at all about Yoshimitsu, the sword, the legacy, nothing. Yet she walks around with the name. Okay, let's focus on Lydia now. This character was hyped up by the developers to be one of the main people going up against the Mishima Zaibatsu in the future. I made videos about this, I theorized about this, I speculated on this so much to where people thought I was the source of the quote. Moonsault, you lied to us, people said. I had to remind people, that wasn't me, that was Harada who said that. I was going off of his word. She was supposed to be something great. As of today, she's nowhere to be seen. She could be in Tekken 8, not playable, maybe playable, who knows? It could be a surprise reveal. You guys talk about unlockable characters, maybe. But as it stands, she's gone. All of the stuff that was hyped up about her, gone. And if you talk about Kunimitsu as well, it's also gone. The character who's replacing both of them, in my opinion, is Victor. Victor is replacing Kunimitsu purely by fighting style. He has a lot of Kunimitsu, a lot of Noctis, and even some Raven mixed in. So what was the point of bringing in a daughter and literally killing off the mother? You should have never done it in the first place then. They literally brought in the daughter and they said, oh yeah, by the way, the mother's dying. That character's gone. And then now they bring in Victor and they're like, oh yeah, the daughter, irrelevant. Who cares about her? It's like, what is the point? This is why I say pointless. What is the point of being excited about your character returning if your character is going to be usurped, replaced by some other character? If you focus on Lydia, she was hyped up to be the god coming in and wreaking havoc on the Mishima Zaibatsu. She was once again replaced by Victor. That's his job now. That's his role. You could argue maybe she's not popular enough. I would disagree. You can argue maybe she's too nice. Maybe, who knows? You can make a lot of arguments. But the fact is, what do we do in Tekken 8 when they start bringing in another DLC character. They show us another character, they tell us how wonderful this character is, how good their story is going to be, all this, bells and whistles, Harada's dancing around on stage. Who's booing? But then what is going to happen for the character themselves? I guess that's what this video is about. I know we all care about the game and we all care about this and that and the spectacle, and I know people will say, who cares about DLC? Kunimitsu had her moment, Lydia had her moment, but I just think about the longevity. When they add in Eddie as DLC, Armor King is DLC, Anna is DLC, are they going to hype up these characters to such extreme so we all can buy it, and then in the next game act like it never existed? Something about that just doesn't sit well with me. Being invested in a product, that product is pushed aside, and then here's another thing, another product to be excited about. I have a clip here that's 3 seconds and it perfectly describes how I feels.
Just consume product and then get excited for next product.
Just consume DLC, then get excited for next DLC. Tekken, as it stands, they're kind of remaking a lot of the mistakes that we've seen in past games. And this is why it's kind of bigger than DLC, because if you focus on what they did for Bruce, for what they did for like Baek-Dusan, Michelle, like a lot of these characters you guys care about, they also got the same treatment. It's just they're not DLC. In one game, they're super powerful, their stories is super important, they're the bodyguard of Kazuya Mishima, and in the next game they're gone. It's like, what's the point of getting invested in these characters if you're just going to discard them in that way? It's all the same, and it seems like Tekken is kind of repeating some of those same mistakes. Now, when the game comes out in 2 months, this video could age like milk. I pray that it does. I pray that Kunimitsu is somehow allied with Reina, and maybe Kunimitsu is this, because Kunimitsu, she went into the Mishima Daibatsu Polytechnical School and she was doing something there. She was trying to investigate something, find something, we don't know. Maybe she was trying to discover the lost daughter of Heihachi. That would be a big thing for Kunimitsu, and it would be an excellent tie-in. Will they do that? I don't know. What if Lydia at the start of Tekken 8 is maybe killed or maybe injured, and then Victor steps in? That would explain her absence, and I would explain her not being on the roster. I hope they go that route. I hope that's what they're doing, because it's possible, right? It's possible for these characters to still exist. I'm just saying right now they don't. And right now it looks like Tekken is making the same mistakes that it always has. I really think Victor as a character is really cool, but tying in all of this stuff with other characters kind of is a damper on the experience, And I don't know. That's pretty much my ideas. I just want to see where it goes from here. And yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe.
Just consume product and then get excited for next product.